flawless victory. Excuse me for being a little giddy right now. I just played Mortal Kombat 11, and it's spectacular. Chris got to play a little bit as well.
I watched somebody get frozen, beheaded, the head falls to the ground, Sub-Zero picked it up, froze it, and punched it into little pieces.
It's spectacular.
It blew my mind. The graphics are amazing, and I'm terrible at these games.
What's up, everyone? I'm Zachary Van Meter. This is Chew on Sports. Welcome. My player, too, as always,
is Chris Temple.
And we're ready to F some stuff up in a good way.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat.
So, first off, ABACABB. For those of you who don't know what that is the blood code for Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. That's how far back I go playing this darn game. And today it came out, and I've been staring at it all day at work, ready to play. So luckily it didn't take very long to install on my PlayStation. I like to collect, so I don't do the digital purchases. I like having the case. So I installed it when I got home, and we just got, 3 matches in real quick before we started our pod. So
yeah, I mean, it was really cool.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's so choice. Check it out. I was Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and you were Liu Kang.
I was Liu Kang. Liu Kang is a zombie in this game.
Yeah, he's like an Evil Dead zombie kind of thing.
It's kind of cool. You know, he's got flames and stuff. You know, stuff he didn't normally do.
I can dig it. We can dig it for sure. So on this episode today, what we're going to talk about is pretty much the same formula of our last 3 episodes, and then it's going to really go left after this. So for those of you who are tuning on into the first time, we are very random. We are very live, actually, and we appreciate the fact that you're here and that you're going to hopefully keep listening. So first off, what we've been breaking down the last few weeks is mock drafts. This is our 4th and final we're going to give tonight. It is the entire first round, picks 1 through 32. I did post mine on Twitter and Instagram earlier, and then a trade happened, so I fixed that and corrected it. Chris has also got his finished that he's going to be unveiling to the public for the first time.
Yo.
With the exception of 2, all NHL series are done right now, right? 3, excuse me, that's right. We got 2 Game 7s tonight and then a Game 7 tomorrow.
Yes.
And then in the NBA, it's just chaos and mayhem. There's 4 games going on this evening.
There's fights.
And we're going to talk about how our brackets are doing, how we're looking, and what the progress is there. So it's jam-packed full of stuff. So first off, we did start with Mortal Kombat as a little teaser. One thing that I like to bring to the table on our podcast is that we're not just about only sports. We love it. It's our passion. It's what we want to talk about. The dream is to one day do this not only just as a hobby, but be doing this as a job, career, and everything else. And Chris and I have a very cool announcement to make. We're actually getting a step in the right direction right now. We've actually joined a team, CreatorRank.com. We've joined their website. We're helping them fact find. It's a fantasy football website, and Chris and I will be doing their main podcast.
It's pretty exciting stuff for us. You know, Zach started this thing a little over a year ago, and he decided to let me tag along in an episode. And you know, I've been here ever since. This is my 7th episode.
I think so.
You know, this is really exciting stuff, and I look forward to continuing doing this podcast. And then doing the Fantasy Creator Rank podcast. Absolutely.
So the way our schedule is going to change pretty much is not really at all. Chris and I are going to find time on the weekends, and we're going to be doing our Fantasy Football Creator Rank podcast for you guys. And then every week we're going to continue to come here and chew on them sports, though, and give you all of the content that we have. And we'll be talking about movies, comic books, it's not just limited to one thing. As you could tell from the last episode, we were talking about Star Wars. We started the day talking about Mortal Kombat. So we're just giving you all everything you can kind of fit in there. Hopefully everybody gets a little something that they like. That's the goal. That's the mission. So apparently, just to touch on Mortal Kombat again real quick, I'm reading the reviews. And apparently there's story mode in this game. Yes, there's a story mode. It is one of the better stories in a video game. Apparently it's like Halo type. Like, imagine a God of War type storyline video game. They're giving you that.
That can't be possible.
So
not with Mortal Kombat.
I'm pretty excited about it. Well, apparently there's time travel. So I like time travel.
So now we've got a quantum realm?
Yes. Well, they go back to Mortal Kombat 2. That's why you saw the Mortal Kombat 2 characters in there, like Baraka and stuff like that. So they're
Shao
kind of
Kahn.
bridged. They kind of bridged everything. So, and apparently the Terminator is going to be a special character in it. Sign me up for that action.
Yeah, I mean Terminator. He fucks everything up.
Yes, he does. That's what the Terminator does. I mean, he'd probably be pretty slow, I would imagine.
Well, he is a cybernetic robot.
So I'm intrigued to see where they go with that when he becomes into the game. But that's enough of Mortal Kombat. We'll report back later. I'm looking forward to playing some more of that after the gym tonight. As far as other entertainment news, this Sunday, Avengers is coming out, so I'm really pumped to see that. We're going to the Sunday show, Chris and I. We will have a full review, and we'll try to make it spoiler-free, but we'll have a full review going next week. For those of you who are on... Oh, somebody's in my house now as my dog goes crazy. For those of you who are on Twitter, you can block all Avenger news going into your phone, into your settings. It's what I've done. I've blocked every single thing possible to make sure I don't get a Thor update, a Hulk update, an Avengers Endgame update. I typed in every name that I know. So hopefully nothing leaks between now and then. Because I'm going to be on my phone a lot with the draft going on. The NFL draft's 2 nights from now, so I'm going to be glued to that thing and trying to see all the information. Who is this guy? Why did the team want this? Details of trades and all of that good stuff. So Avengers is coming. I am prepared for I think it's going to be an emotional day for me because apparently... On Game of Thrones, they're gonna kill everyone. Apparently, Game of Thrones. I mean, and Avengers too. So it's just be a day of death on Sunday. Apparently,
yeah, it's a day of death. It's exactly right. You summed it up perfectly. Game of Thrones. Everybody's gonna get murked in there.
I just want to know, and I'm sorry, ear muffet if this is for virgin ears, but what did you think when you saw Arya's side boob on Game of Thrones this week?
I mean, she was. Not 7 or 8 when she started the show. She's been on there for 11 years now, and
well, in real life she's 20. She's 25.
Okay, yeah.
So on the show she's 18.
It was kind of weird.
I agree. If it was a horror movie, I would say she's going to die because when you give up the goods, you die in the horror realm. But I don't know in White Walker world. So
she kind of took it from Gendry.
So, I know we're kind of jumping around here, and that's what we do, because we know nothing about Avengers yet, besides what we've all thought and already know.
Yeah.
So, for Game of Thrones, I like the slow build-up that just happened. My friend has a really interesting theory. My friend Adam, we were talking about it today. We went to Chip a Top Lay for lunch whenever I was picking up Mortal Kombat. He thinks that Arya is asking questions about White Walkers because she's going to do the face, and she's going to act like one of them so she can try to get the Night King.
I mean, that would be cool, but I don't think she could...
I don't know. In Walking Dead, they rubbed zombie blood on them and walked amongst zombies. Who knows? It's a theory, so it could be very wrong.
It's a theory. It's one of those stranger theories I've heard.
It's a different one. It is definitely a different theory, that's for sure. So, it was a good episode.
It was. I was thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
I thought it was called Game of Thrones 69 for like an entire evening.
It was not.
It was the story of Arya, apparently, with that title. But anywho, they changed it to A Night for Seven Kingdoms.
The Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
The Night of the Seven Kingdoms for Bree. So good times. So on to sports. We've got the pop culture stuff going in. Man, NHL is going just. Yeah, it's awesome. My Dallas Stars had me on the edge of my seat last night, winning last night in Game 7.
Jesus, that was a good
or Game 6, excuse me, to not make the Game 7 happen. They look like a different team in overtime, right?
They did.
I mean,
we were dominant in overtime.
Man, Bishop
saved us multiple times. That breakaway that Nashville had in the third.
Man, it was
stoned him.
It was great TV. If you're not a hockey fan, if you're in the Dallas area especially, you can turn into a hockey fan by watching a local team when you have something to root for because it is so very, very, very
playoff
intense.
Hockey is the funnest round of playoffs there is.
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's great, man. Playoff football, more on the line because you only have one game.
Yes.
So you could make the argument that it might be more intense, but not really because of the scoring and the way everything works. So it's...
Well, I think, football is, like you said, you get one game. Hockey's cumulative.
Right.
You get up to 7 games, so it's all the storylines within the series that happen that that make people go crazy about it, and
Right.
and they don't slow play the series either.
No, not at all.
It's hey, you play your 2 games here, you got 1 day off, and you go play your two games.
Well, speaking of 7 games, you got 2 game 7s going on tonight and 1 tomorrow. So the first, what is it? Is Vegas first or second?
I think Vegas is first.
Okay, so you have Vegas playing San Jose. San Jose is home. I think San Jose is going to win this game.
I think San Jose is going to win it too, but I would really like Vegas to win, and the reason why, we talked about this before the podcast started, but if Vegas wins, every lower seed in the Western Conference will have won. None of the high seeds will win. So you'll have only the 3s and 4s left.
So you just want it to all burn.
Burn it.
For division.
Yeah, okay. Burn it down.
All right. And then the other series is Boston. Oh, no, this is the first game. Boston and the Leafs. And Boston's the better team. Boston should win, but I'm with you. Burn it all down. Let's go, Leafs.
I picked Toronto to win the series.
I picked Toronto to win the series as well. Heck, Toronto's in my Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
So
I don't have anybody left in my Stanley Cup Finals.
Stars versus Toronto.
Mine was Winnipeg versus Tampa Bay, and we know how that's wound up.
So series that are over. Colorado advanced. Nashville lost.
Speaking of Colorado looks like a different team in the playoffs too.
They do, and they're going to play the winner of the San Jose series. So, and then Dallas is going to play the Blues, who knocked us out of the playoffs last time we were.
It's a revenge series.
Revenge series, that's right. Tampa Bay, we covered that in our last podcast, was beat. Toronto can advance tonight, or Boston. The Capitals have a Game 7 tomorrow.
I'm hoping Ovi gets out of the first round.
They're home, so they should win.
They should win. I mean, the defending champs don't get knocked out in the first round.
And then the Islanders have just been chilling.
Yeah, man.
They've just been, the Islanders and Columbus have just been relaxing for a week.
Yeah, I mean,
while everybody beats the crap out of each other.
That's really good for them. You know, get some early morning skates, but don't lift any weights. Let those legs come back.
I'm intrigued, man.
Fresh legs win.
So we'll have, obviously, our brackets are kind of busted right now. I still have the Stars alive and maybe my other championship team, but we will we'll be maybe a game or two into some of these series, but once we know who's playing who, we'll give our analysis and who we think's going to win what. I still feel really, really good about the Stars' chances next week versus the Blues, knowing that series, so I'm very pumped about that, and I'm just intrigued to see who else gets in this next 2 nights. Now, on to basketball. Man. I have a bone to pick with DirecTV real quick while we talk about basketball.
I agree. And I found out this one thing, too. It's also on YouTube TV.
Oh, that's even a bigger bone to pick.
Yeah.
I have NHL TV. I have MLB TV. I have the Golf Network. NFL Network.
Yeah.
But I don't have NBA TV. I called them to see what I could do because during the playoffs, one of the series I'm the most intrigued at right now is Denver-San Antonio.
It's 2-2. It's the best series right now.
That game was phenomenal. They were down by like 12. They came back and won. Jamal Murray's a stud. I like watching that dude play. He's one of my favorite players.
I haven't been able to watch it.
And it's on NBA TV again tonight. I can't watch it.
I don't have that.
It's $60. I'm sorry. I love the NBA, and I love my wife. And my wife would not allow me to pay $60 for the NBA to watch 2 games. It's not a thing.
You could get YouTube TV for $52 a month.
Gosh. So, anywho, they need to make a package. They need to change their package. If you're subscribed to the sport package, NBA TV should
It's like the Longhorn Network. If you don't like the Longhorns, why would you pay for this network?
Yeah, I'm totally confused. It should be included in the basic sports package. For real. Gosh, DirecTV, you suck.
Well, I mean, it's like all those years, but people that had Comcast didn't have the NFL Network.
Right. They still don't, or they do now.
Everybody's got it now. Yeah, it's carried by all the major providers.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, anywho, that's a game that's on tonight. Denver's home tonight. Man, I picked Denver to win this series. I feel like any team can win. Like I could pull on any expert right now, and I bet you if we pulled 5, that it would be 3-2 or 3-2 either which way.
Why won't the Spurs die?
Because they're the Patriots of the NBA, man.
I'm tired of the Spurs. I like Popovich.
They'll go when Popovich goes.
What is that? He's 60.
It might be next year.
He's 60.
He hasn't committed to coaching next year, so. I mean, it could be done.
Bye, Pop. Hopefully.
They just draft well. They develop. They are the Patriots. That's what they are.
Well, the Patriots don't draft well.
They do.
No, they don't. If you statistically look at the Patriots, they do not draft.
They
low.
move back. Well, they develop better.
They develop better.
They develop better than they draft.
Yeah,
if
but
that makes sense.
Yeah, but a lot of their best players are free agents, low to mid level signing free agents. The players that they draft, they're not very good at drafting. The Cowboys are the best drafting team in the NFL.
I like it.
I mean, it's not even an opinion. I mean, it's if you look at their last 5 or 6 drafts.
Well, the draft where we got Zeke and Dak will arguably, and Jalen Smith could arguably go down as.
Well, we also got Anthony Brown.
Yeah, that's gold.
Yeah, I mean, you also got he's not on the team anymore, but Malik Collins. He played well when he was healthy, but injuries killed his career.
For sure. So we've got Golden State up 3-1 right now on the Clippers. Do the Clippers have a chance to win another game, or is this over?
I mean, every game's been close, so you can't say they don't. I mean, I think they might take one more. This might go 6, but I don't see it going 7.
It's in Golden State, right? Or is this in L.A.?
It's in.
This is at game 5.
It's 3-1, so it should be in Golden State.
Yeah, I think they put him down. Utah snuck one out last night. So, do they have another game in them, or are the Rockets taking it home?
Rockets will take it home. Utah's playing them.
It's in Houston as well. I figured the Jazz were going to win the first game in Utah.
Well, I picked it to be 4-2 Houston, so I figured Utah would at least give them, a fight.
Is Oklahoma getting eliminated tonight?
I hope so. I'm tired of the smug Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I didn't pick Portland, but I like Damian Lillard. I've on recording, talk about how much I like Damian Lillard. I think Oklahoma's going to win tonight, and then Portland's going to win the next game.
Well, I have Portland going to Western Conference Finals, so I really like Portland.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If I can do it again, I knee-jerk reacted to Nurkic's injury. I know how phenomenal Damian Lillard is, and I know about C.J. McCollum.
They replaced him with Cantor.
Nurkic's way better.
Well, he is way better, but you at least got somebody that could get you
a double-double.
Yes.
A double-double a night. Absolutely.
You replaced production.
I thought Paul George, I thought we were going to get MVP Paul George. If you remember, back in February or end of January, we were putting him in the same MVP conversation as Greek Freak and Harden.
Well, I don't know if you know, but they've said that they think there's something wrong with his shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder injury.
And nobody's,
because his 3-point shooting is way down the toilet.
Yeah, he's probably got something torn in his shoulder, and he's gutting through it. We'll find out at the end of the season if he has surgery or not.
For sure, man. I think Oklahoma will not be able to be eliminated tonight. I think you're going to get a special game out of Westbrook and Paul George.
Westbrook's been having special games all year. They're still.
I don't think they can win the series. It's Portland's series to win, and I think it will be. I don't know, man. The way I kind of want Portland to win on Oklahoma City's court to get the series out. So the next game, Denver and San Antonio rolling tonight. We just talked about that a second ago. Who do you like tonight?
I like Denver. I've got Denver winning the series 4-2.
I like Denver tonight too. It's gonna be, dude.
It's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be, but we can't watch it.
And you want to, yeah. What's even better about Denver, because I was able to watch the game Saturday, is that they started off poor. They were down by double digits, and they just battled back.
I mean, it's playoffs. You have to.
You have do to the runs. They just, man, they're impressive, man. They really are. They were hitting the threes. It was good stuff. Milwaukee ended Detroit's season. So
I mean, that wasn't a surprise.
No, I expected Detroit to get at least a game.
I picked Milwaukee 4-0.
Yeah. So there you go. Boston also swept the Pacers. Boston advanced. So you've got Boston versus Milwaukee, like we both predicted in the next round. I
actually predicted the Pacers.
Oh, that's right, you did.
I had to go in 7.
Well, I like Milwaukee, but man, if you told me a week from now that Milwaukee's down 0-2, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't shock me.
I would be surprised.
I would not. I
just don't think the Pacers are consistent enough.
I think that the Bucks are going to get to the conference finals, but it just, for some reason, man, I'm really intrigued to watch the first game and see how Brad coaches Greek Freak, to see what defensive schemes, because I didn't think that they could beat Philly last year.
I think if you want to defend him, you got to put a combination of Tatum and Smart on him. Those are your best two defenders.
Well, Smart won't play this series.
Is he still hurt?
Yeah, he's going to miss this series too. Is what the rumor is, man. So that might be the
Smart's one of the top 5 defenders in the league.
Yeah, that might be one of the things that hurts him.
I mean, Smart is a lot shorter than Greek Freak, so that may not have been a good matchup anyways.
Yeah.
Because Smart's 6'3", Greek Freak's, 6'11"?
No, you got to... Al Horford's probably going to guard him a lot. I don't know, man. It's like they've got Morris, they got Horford, they can alternate. They're just going to throw bodies at him. That's just what you're going to do. You're almost going to just unload as many people as you can.
It's like OKC did against Dirk in 11.
Try to turn Greek Freak into as much of a shooter as you possibly can.
Except for Oklahoma City couldn't stop Dirk, and we went on to win the championship.
True, baby. True. You got Philly. They can close it out tonight. They're playing Brooklyn. Who do you like tonight?
I hope Philly ends the series. I'm tired of these two teams just bickering at each other.
I think Philly's going to win. I do too.
It's a bunch of stupid nothing fights.
It's funny too because someone was telling me that they thought this was the best series when, like we just talked about, Denver San Antonio really is.
Yeah.
But the deal is that people like the drama that's coming out, like the ejections. Like Jared Dudley, are you kidding me? He hasn't been relevant in the NBA in 10 years, and people are like,
I didn't know he was still playing.
People are like, what's a better playoff matchup? Ben Simmons versus, I mean, who cares, man? Like, gosh, ridiculous. But I think Philly closes it out. Man, I like the Nets, and I told you about this, and I've talked about it on the podcast, and I've talked about it many, many times before. I think the Nets are going to be a force to be reckoned with next season if they get the right pieces with the money. Heck, even if they just grow the team they got 1 year under their belt, got to the playoffs, got their teeth kicked in a little bit.
Well, even if they don't make any big signings, the cap roll's over.
Yeah, they can just be good.
Yeah.
You know, and NBA does not. You have to spend a specific percentage in the NBA.
Okay.
And then we've got Toronto. My phone is going crazy right now. That's awesome. We've got Toronto versus Orlando, and they could end it tonight. So I think that's what's going to happen.
I do too. I got Toronto. I had Toronto winning it in 4, so if they win it in 5, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think Toronto's going to end it tonight. Although Orlando's put up a much better fight than I thought.
Because they won one more game than you thought.
They've been into the games.
Yeah, I mean
it's funny because same thing with the Pacers. It was not like there wasn't really a game that I watched with the Pacers that I was like, man, that this team doesn't belong or they suck. In fact, every game I was like, dang, if the Pacers had Oladipo, they could probably win this series.
Well, they probably would have got the 3 seed with Oladipo. They would have been 5.
So the different matchup probably. Yeah. So just to recount, we think a lot of stuff's going to be ending tonight in the NBA
and the NHL.
So I think Philly's going to close it out. Raptors going to close it out. I think Oklahoma lives for one more game, and then Denver goes up by 1. So I'm intrigued to see how that plays out, sports fans.
We shall see.
Now on to the mock draft. So first off, would you ever get a tattoo of yourself on yourself?
No, Zeke, I would not.
Did you see it?
I have seen it, and so, I am befuddled on why you would do this. I mean, it's a cool-looking tattoo for somebody that's not named Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke has a tattoo of himself on his leg right now, and he looks like a demon almost.
A little bit.
Like Hellboy type looking thing, but yeah, so there's that. So that's hilarious, but there's a big trade in the NFL today. So why don't you break down the trade for us, Chris?
Well, Seattle traded Clark to Kansas City for the 29th pick of this year's draft, the second-round pick, Kansas City's second-round pick in 2020, and a third-round pick this year, I believe, or is it 2021 that they did that?
Wow. And so they get their first-round pick, right?
Yeah, they get the 29th overall this year. They get Kansas City's second next year. And then they also get the 2019 third-round pick of Kansas City this year.
Wow.
But Dwight Clark also got a 5-year, $105 million deal with $63 million guaranteed.
So pretty much tank money.
Yeah, tank money. It comes out to $21 million a year just like tank.
So I just pretty much, and maybe this is coy or wrong of me, but I pretty much, when I was doing my mock draft, and we'll get to the mock draft here in a second, but I pretty much, with the pick they swapped with them, went pass rush, because it seems like that's what they need, because they just got rid of the guy. But we'll get into that in a second. So, yeah, Zeke looks like an Ewok.
Zeke does look like an Ewok.
Maybe that's what it is. He got a tattoo of an Ewok on his leg. Maybe he's a big Star Wars fan.
I doubt it. He's from Missouri.
Have you seen, by the way, anybody who's listening to this and has access to Google if you're not driving, just Google an Ewok consoling the little blonde child from the movie. It looks like when we lost the team when Zeke was hugging Cole Beasley. We lost in the playoffs to the Packers a few years ago. Oh, good stuff. So, anywho, let's go to our mock drafts now.
Let's do it.
So, I have changed my opinion of what's going down. Now, I still don't think Arizona is going to get Kyler Murray. For those of you who've been listening to my last few podcasts, I've made it very clear that I did not think I thought Arizona was going to trade back. But after just everything, the fact that it's 2 days before, I think Nick Bosa is going number 1 to the Cardinals. That is your first pick.
That is a dumb pick by the Cardinals. You don't draft non-quarterbacks number 1 overall.
I'm not saying it's a smart pick.
If you're the Cardinals, you trade back.
Here's the issue that I have with that. Who? With who?
The Jets. Well, the Jets don't need a quarterback, but you trade back with the Raiders.
So what you've been disagreeing with me about for the last month, you agree with now?
Well,
now that I change it?
No, I still have the Cardinals taking Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I'm just disagreeing with your assessment of who they pick and where they pick them.
Okay, fair enough.
So in that regards, they wouldn't be able to get Bosa. I think they would get more like a Josh Allen or a Quentin Williams, depending on who's left on the board after that. Because Bosa's would still go to the 49ers, and then the Jets are either going to take Allen or Quentin Williams.
And see, I don't disagree that Williams or Allen might be a better number 1 pick or a better fit for Arizona. I don't disagree with it, but all the chatter I've been reading about from writers and everything else is saying Bosa. So I'm just going by the factoids that I find. So number 1, you have Kyler Murray.
I do have Kyler Murray, yeah.
Okay. Number 2, obviously my number 2 is way different than yours then.
Yes, because I've got Bosa going to the 49ers.
I have Quentin Williams going number 2.
That's not a bad pick
to San Francisco.
I mean,
I think he's the best of the 3 defenders. Honestly, the 3 defenders that are arguably probably going to go in the top 4, Quentin Williams, Josh Allen, and Bosa. I think he's the best one.
I honestly think you can't go wrong picking either one of those 3. I think they're 1A, 1B, and 1C.
They're all phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I honestly don't think they're either edge or DT.
Well, I have a friend on Twitter who actually told me to go on YouTube and watch his swim moves. Mm-hmm. And how he's got that quick twitch, and man, if I can see it, and I don't break down film. I go by what I see with my eyes and but I'm not that guy, right? I'm not a trust the tape. I watch I watch the film, I watch the game, I give my opinion, but I'm not watching hours upon hours upon hours of defensive film. But just me watching his YouTube video, I was like, whoa, man, yeah, this guy could be the top pick of the draft. So you have Bosa at 2.
I have Bosa at 2.
Number 3, I'm getting saucy.
Who do you got?
Who do you have at 3?
I've got Josh Allen going to the Jets.
Okay. I have the Raiders moving up 1 pick because they're going to start to freak out because the Jets don't really have too huge of a need right here. So the Jets have made it very, very, very apparent that they're willing to move back.
Yes.
Okay? So I have a feeling that since Kyler Murray is still going to be on the board at number 3, they're going to get itchy because they're going to want him at number 4, so they're going to move up. So what it's going to cost to move up, I studied the trade tracker, so I think this works. They're going to give them the number 24? Yeah, they're going to give them the number 24 pick in the first round and their second. I
think they could get away with the 3rd.
To move up just 1 spot?
To move up 1 spot.
And not give up a first?
Yeah, when we were at that draft show last week, Broadus and them were talking about it. The Tampa Bay or Oakland to move up to 1 would have to give away this 4 and 24 and then a 3rd.
Right.
And that would equal the points of the Cardinals spot.
I bet you the Jets. If I was the Jets, I would get the first out of them. Do you know why? And I'm not saying that's inaccurate. I'm thinking that you're probably 100% right. But if I'm the Jets, I hose them. I'm like, okay, you want to give me a number 3? All right. Well, I've got the Broncos on the horn right now, and they're offering me their first and their second for them. So I'm going to go that route.
I mean, if they're Broncos first and second, it's not as good.
So that's why they'll give them the first and second.
Well,
drops Mike.
No, I've already got Oakland giving them their first, which is 4th, in the first round 24. If Denver gives up their first and their second, then the Jets are only getting 1.
Gotcha. Oh, so you do have them. You say the first is part of this equation.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the Jets would get two picks in the first round.
Right.
And you would have 5 teams instead of 4 with 2 first-round picks
Right.
this year.
So I have the Jets moving up. So the Raiders move up to 3 to get Kyler Murray. They give up their second-round pick and their 20 and like I said, I think the Jets are going to be able to play with it. The reason why I made it such a rich deal is I give them the 24th pick a second because I think they're going to play the other teams are calling because they want Murray card because he's still.
Let me ask you this: if you're the New York Giants and Kyler Murray's available at 3, what do you do to get him? Are you the same boat as Oakland? Are you giving up? Are you giving up at 6 and 17? Because it's too better. Because your second pick is better overall than.
I don't think the Giants want it.
I don't think the Giants know what they want.
So and I'll explain here in we'll see how my Giants thoughts.
What about the Raiders?
Pan out.
Or not the Raiders, but the Redskins.
The Redskins are too far back.
They could get there.
They could. It'd be very, very rich.
It'd be 3 consecutive first-round picks. It'd be this year, next year, and the year after.
They could. Absolutely. No, it absolutely could be a thing. I think this just makes sense. I think Kyler Murray is destined to be a Raider. I really, really do. And
is that because of his attitude?
I think this just makes more sense. No, I like Kyler Murray. I just think that John Gruden's in love with him. I think that's why they kicked everybody out of the room. I think that's why they're trying to be all secretive right now. Is that's their guy.
Well, I don't think that's why they kicked everybody out of the room. I think they kicked out of it because Mike Mayock. This is his first year and he doesn't want anybody screwing it up.
No, that could be it too.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Mayock is Mr. Draft Guy. He's been studying drafts. He knows, he knows 400 players in this draft. He knows all the players that the scouts know. Most GMs don't. I don't think are as in depth or involved as the whole knowing of players as everybody else is watching the film and all that. Mike Mayock probably in that regard has an advantage over most GMs.
Right. Well, yes and no, right? I mean, Mel Kiper's not working for a team, and he knows more than I know about anything.
Well, yeah, but it's his
Except
job.
for styling his hair. I do a better job, I think, of styling my hair than Kiper.
He's been stuck in the 70s since the 70s.
So I have. So you have Josh Allen go number 3. I have Kyler Murray going 3. Number 4. Who do you have? Do you have the Raiders taking
Quentin Williams?
I have the Raiders taking Josh. I have the Jets taking Josh Allen. Number 5. We both have Tampa in our little mock draft world.
I do.
Who do you have at 5th? At number 5?
Devin White.
I do too. Devin White. We agree.
And that's what everybody's saying.
That's crazy. So our top 4 are totally backwards now.
Yes.
We don't agree on any of them.
No.
We were pretty locked in. Now at number 6, I got cute. I have New York Giants trading back.
Getting another first round pick? Well, I guess they'd help.
They're
they'd
probably
get a
going
second.
Yeah. So I've got Denver moving up to 6
For Drew Lock?
for Drew Lock. Who do you have the Giants taking at 6?
Ed Oliver, unfortunately. I wish Dallas could get this kid.
At number 7, I have Jacksonville. Is that who you're drafting at 7th?
Yep.
I have Jawan Taylor.
I also have Jawan Taylor.
Okay. Number 8 is Detroit.
Montez Sweat.
I have Detroit taking Devin White,
Devin White corner?
the linebacker.
The linebacker? Okay.
So it's similar.
I thought you had him going to Tampa.
I changed it.
You changed it. Okay.
Yeah. Montez Sweat. Number 9, I've got Buffalo taking Rashawn Gary.
I also have Rashawn Gary going to Buffalo. Now, that's one of the guys they talked about in the draft room. We were talking in there the other day that Rashawn Gary's not a great player. He's not even the best edge rusher on this team, but he's got the traits and the measurables that everybody's looking for.
Apparently he's moving up. He might have an issue, though. A labrum issue. It's like a red flag that he might have to put it in a sling is what I'm hearing. So I thought about pushing him back, but
I mean, if he's got a labrum issue, it's the same injury as Tank. Better go get that fixed right now.
Right. So we'll see how that pans out. But I'm hearing and I don't know, man.
It's like a 4 to 5 month injury. He should have gotten it fixed.
They said he can play through it.
He should have got it fixed.
So I don't know. Number 10, I have the Giants drafting at number 10.
I've got the Broncos taking Drew Lock at 10.
I have the Broncos. I have New York at number 10 taking Ed Oliver.
So we just swapped.
Yeah, they moved back to take that.
Well, but both teams got the same player.
Yeah. Number 11, Cincinnati. Who do you got them taking?
Dwayne Haskins.
What?
I do.
Holy rusted metal, Batman.
Cincinnati needs a quarterback. Andy Dalton is clearly not the answer, and he's on the last year of his deal.
Wow.
It's time for a change in Cincinnati. And if I'm Cincinnati, I'm getting rid of AJ Green.
You're just blowing it up, man.
I'm blowing it up in Cincinnati.
Well, they don't have a GM that knows what he's doing, so they probably
Well,
won't.
they don't have an owner that knows what he's doing.
I have Cincinnati taking Cody Ford, offensive lineman.
Okay.
Let's see. Green Bay is number 12, right?
Yes, sir.
Who do you have Green Bay taking?
Devin Bush, linebacker, Michigan.
I have Green Bay taking TJ.
TJ Hawkinson?
Yes, the tight end. I feel good about it. I actually, with Green Bay's 2 picks that they have, I have them taking... We'll get to my other pick later, but I have them taking a wide receiver and...
They need weapons.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I've got, let's see.
Miami.
Number 13 is Miami. I have Miami taking Christian Wilkins.
I've got him taking Andre Dillard, the offensive tackle out of Washington State.
Okay. Atlanta, number 14. I have Andre Dillard going to Atlanta.
I have Christian Wilkins going to Atlanta.
All right, let's go.
Flip-flop this.
I stayed true to it, baby. I think the Skins are going to take Will Greer.
I still got him taking DK Metcalf.
Okay. Panthers. Let's see. I have the Panthers taking... I just totally deleted something. Give me 1 second.
Well, while he
So who do you
fixes
have the
that, I
Panthers
have the
taking?
Panthers taking Brian Burns, the edge out of Florida State.
Perfect. All right. So hold on. Let me find where I went wrong. I have Byron Murphy,
Byron Murphy.
the cornerback. The first cornerback taken going to the Panthers.
You got a corner going that early in this draft?
I do.
I don't have... Just a little snippet
It's either that or O-line.
Just a little snippet of where I got Byron Murphy going. I've got him going 27th overall to the Raiders.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about 10 picks?
Yeah.
11 picks, yeah.
I mean, it is the first. They're going that or O-line. I have a feeling they're going to go with him. We'll see. I could be wrong. And number 17 is the Giants. Do you have the Giants drafting here still?
I do.
And who do you have the Giants taking at 17?
Daniel Jones, quarterback, Duke.
I have the Giants taking Dwayne Haskins here.
From everything that I've heard, they like Daniel Jones better. They're not fans of Haskins because Haskins is not a mobile quarterback, and I don't mean he can run like Michael Vick or anything like that. I mean he's just not very mobile. He's a statue in the pocket like Byron Leftwich.
Right.
And a lot of teams are afraid of that because in today's NFL, your quarterback has to be able to escape the pocket and get you at least 2 to 3 first downs a game with his legs.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think Dwayne Haskins because I think that they like him better just from what I've read. But I think that I think we're gonna see 4 or 5 quarterbacks.
Do you know
go
who
in the
Gil
first
Brandt
round.
compared Daniel Jones' skills to?
No.
Peyton Manning, out of college. Gil Brandt.
Jeez. Well, then he should be the first pick.
In case people don't know who Gil Brandt is, Gil Brandt was the GM for the Cowboys.
Well, if that was accurate, he'd be the first pick in the draft.
Well, not everybody sees it. That's the problem.
Wow.
Gil Brandt says his tape he looks just like Peyton Manning.
The number 18. Goodness gracious. Number 18. Vikings.
Jonah Williams,
I also have the Vikings taking Jonah Williams.
as you should.
Number 19. The Titans.
Garrett Bradbury.
I have them taking Brian Burns.
Brian Burns is off my board.
Yes, he is.
He was taken higher.
Steelers. Who do you have at number 20?
TJ Hawkinson. I have him falling all the way to 20.
Okay. I have the Steelers taking Devin Bush.
Linebacker.
Seahawks. Number 21. Who we got?
Jerry Tillery.
I have the Seahawks going for Hollywood Brown here, man. They need a slot receiver to go with injured Baldwin and TJ Lockett.
Yeah, but Lockett's a slot already.
He plays on the outside.
He's mainly slot, though. I mean, Hollywood Brown, though, if Dallas was picking in this area, I'd be happy if Dallas took him to be their slot.
I've heard
His quickness and his speed off tape.
I'm hearing he's going to go in the first round, man.
Oh, he will.
Especially if you look at like picks 21 through 32. There's so many teams here that would be okay trading back. They would be like, man, I have no issue. I have no qualms going back into the second round for more assets.
Yeah.
And people moving up to get weapons. So I like it. Seattle needs more weapons.
They do.
So I think that Hollywood makes a lot of sense. I think
That's why Dallas beat them in the playoffs last year. They didn't have to worry about anything.
And I think the receivers they have are like Metcalf doesn't make sense for them. AJ Brown. I think that Hollywood Brown fits what I saw from watching Seattle Seahawks football. I could be completely wrong, but just from my eyes, seeing what they need, trying to be like a Bill Belichick almost, like I draft for what beat me, right?
Yeah.
This is what beat me. This is what I need to add to my squad. So I think that Seattle just extended Russell Wilson. So would they get 2 picks in the first round? So why not give him a weapon with one of the picks? Is my thought.
Makes sense.
The Ravens, number 22.
Yes, sir.
Who do you have the Ravens taking?
Eric McCoy, offensive guard, center.
Okay.
And I think he'll play center for the Ravens.
Okay. I have another wide receiver going. I have A.J. Brown going to the Ravens right here. I think we're going to have our first 2 receivers go off the board back-to-back, 22 and 23. The Ravens need more weapons, and I like A.J. Brown.
The Ravens do need weapons.
Texans, 23.
Cody Ford.
Okay.
They need help on the offensive line.
I picked Greg Little, so I agree with you. Just different guy.
Yes, sir.
Now, number 24, I have the Jets picking here because they made the trade.
Yes.
I have the Jets drafting Noah Fant, tight end.
I have the Raiders taking Noah Fant.
So we have the same guy to different teams.
Yeah, so if the Raiders stay pat, they get the guy. They get Quentin Williams and Noah Fant, which is a better draft haul for them instead of just getting Kyler Murray.
We'll see what happens. Philly is number 25. I have them taking Garrett Bradbury.
I have taken Klein Farrell, Clemson.
Colts at 26.
I actually have the Colts taking A.J. Brown at Ole Miss. I got 2 Ole Miss wide receivers going in the first round.
I have Colts taking DK Metcalf.
There you go. Teammates.
Yes, I fill in the wide receivers. I like the giving Luck more weapons. They definitely need to address offensive line because they're stacked there.
And their defense is legit.
The Raiders do have their 27th pick in my draft. Who do you have at 27?
The Raiders.
Yeah, and who do you have them drafting?
Byron Murphy.
I have the Raiders taking Josh Jacobs, running back.
You have a running back going in the first round?
Josh
Alabama?
Jacobs, I do. Yeah. I'm not saying I like it. I've read that they really like him. Their running backs are kind of old.
So in your mock, they get their quarterback and their running back as a future.
Yes. And they're more than likely going to go wide receiver at the very beginning of round 2.
Yeah, I mean,
if like Hakeem Butler.
Think if they stay pat though, and they take Quentin Williams, and then they can get their running back, they can get their tight end, the running back, and their wide receiver.
But then you have Derek Carr.
But look at the quarterback draft class of next year. It's better than this year.
Huh?
And then you're also playing for Tua Tagovailoa. And then what you have weapons that are seasoned to put around this guy instead of putting a rookie quarterback with a rookie wide receiver.
I think they want Kyler, man. I think they do, man. I don't disagree with any of this. I've seen John Gruden. I love his Monday Night Football stuff, right?
John Gruden is a quarterback killer.
So I love his Monday Night Football stuff, right? And watching him light up with quarterbacks, especially mobile quarterbacks, and the way I'm telling you, I would be so surprised if he's not a Raider. It would blow my mind. And obviously the only way it's not is if, in my opinion, because I don't see a team moving up for Kyler Murray, and I don't see the Cardinals taking him, so I think the Raiders is it.
I think if you're Raiders, you play it out this year with Carr. He's on the last year of his deal, and you let the chips fall where they are. But you take these 3 picks, you can get an edge rusher, you can get a wide receiver, you can get a running back.
You know what would be crazy?
You have a lot of holes.
What if Murray fell to 4 and they got him and they got a wide receiver and they got a running back in the first round and got their new?
Well, then you take best player available, BPA,
right? And
there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking if you're the Raiders, you got 3 first-round picks.
It could happen. Kyler could fall to 4. He could go 1. He's not going to drop past 4.
Well, I think if the Cardinals and the 49ers and Jets don't need him.
Man, life would be so much easier if the Cardinals would just tell us what they're doing, so we just know.
Well, also there's rumors going around. We come back up to the 49ers. Solomon Wilcox could be on the block.
Yeah. There's so many things that could happen.
Yeah.
And then we've got at 28, the Chargers. I have them taking Cleveland Farrell.
I have them taking Nassar Adderley, the free safety out of Delaware.
Okay. Now the Hawks are number 29.
Yep.
I have the Hawks taking Draymond Jones.
I have them taking L.J. Collier, replacing their edge rusher.
Okay.
And the reason why they got rid of him is because they can't afford him now because of not Russell Westbrook, but
so that's why I got a rush. Yeah.
Because of the Russell.
So we have the same logic, just with different guys.
Yeah, I mean, you got an edge rusher for 5 more years, but you're paying him on a rookie scale.
Very cool. Green Bay is number 30.
Paris Campbell, Ohio State.
Same thing. Paris Campbell. Let's go. Wide receiver. So I think they're going to load up on offense for... I didn't agree with this beforehand, but I've changed my tone since my first mock draft with you, whenever we did this a month ago.
Yeah.
Number 31 is the Rams. Who do you have them taking?
Dexter Lawrence.
I have them taking Chris Lindstrom.
We don't need hockey players here.
Yeah. That'll be Eric Lindstrom. And then number 32. Who do you got?
The Patriots taking Jeffrey Simmons out of Mississippi State.
I have the Bengals trading back into the end of the first round to take Daniel Jones. I have Bill Belichick doing his thing where he gets out of the first round. And I have Daniel Jones being the last pick, kind of like how Lamar Jackson was last season with the Ravens.
I mean, if you're going to get a quarterback, you want to get him first round.
That's why they're going to do it.
Just because of the fifth-year option.
And if you think about it, they pick... So where does Cincy pick? They'll have the 11th pick, I believe, in the second round. Mm-hmm. So you have Arizona. You have the Raiders. You have Tampa. You have Denver. Now, we don't know who... Now, obviously, some of those holes will be filled by quarterbacks throughout the first round. But you have, Miami. So there's a few teams that could pick him. So you move back in and you get him. I think that makes sense.
Well, I mean, if everything's correct, Miami's tanking for Tua Tagovailoa.
Right, so I don't have them looking at a quarterback at all.
No.
That's why, because obviously I would have him going to Miami. Or any of the 5 that I have in the first round. I just think that they're going to pass on him. I think they're just going to add better talent so when they get better next season,
Well, Miami's also trying to get rid of contracts.
Right.
I mean, they're still paying Ndamukong Suh $23 million this year.
Yeah, they are.
After paying him $30 million last year not to play on the team.
It's like when the Cowboys had all the Romo money.
Yeah, Romo was on there, Witten was on there, Dez was on there.
Oh man,
they paid almost $30 million, but they almost paid $30 million for 3 players. Miami paid $30 million for 1 last year.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So we got some more reviews, by the way, Chris.
Oh, did we?
Were you aware of this?
No.
Let's see. So I want to thank a few individuals because we try to do a good job, and we're getting some love. We actually have 14 5-star reviews now on the iTunes, and we have 4 reviews. We got a 5-star review from an ALX2416. If you love sports, listen to this. Lots to love about this pod. These guys really know their stuff, and I love that they can weave between multiple sports topics on a given episode. It's almost like a weekly rundown of the must-know sports topics. I'll definitely be listening going forward and catching up on those archives. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Spinny Spin gave us a 5-star rating. Chewin'. Keep on chewing, guys. Great stuff. We had King8775 giving a 5-star review. Great show, great topics. These guys get into it about everything, it seems. Their views are precise, which fits the whole theme of the podcast. This podcast has been added to my lineup for the week.
Nice.
And there you go. So we had three new reviews this week. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. And for anybody that's listening right now, it means a lot. That's how we grow this pod, is by your love. If you like what we're talking about, give us reviews. If you want to hear more, give us reviews. I'm excited for what the future holds as we continue to grow this thing. Already within a year, as a second podcast coming out of it, we've gained a co-host and a player too in Chris.
Woohoo!
So Chew on Sports is growing into something special. So I'm excited you're going to be here for the ride, and we're just going to keep bringing more stuff. Now, you, the listener, have a lot of control over what we talk about here, okay? I'm just not talking to me. If there's something that we need to talk about, whether it's hockey or it's horse racing.
If you want us to learn water polo, we'll learn it.
I won't learn water polo at all. But just feel free to, if there's something you'd like us to talk about, let us know.
Competition swimming.
We'll try to talk about it if we can gather. So, before we go, big baseball news this week. It looks like Vlad Guerrero Jr. is getting called up.
I mean, he's finally healthy.
And, well, he's been healthy for a few weeks, but they have that whole call-up contract manipulation thing. The rumor is it's supposed to be tonight, but there's a Game 7 in Toronto, so they felt like nobody watching the game. So they're using it for ticket sales, is what I'm hearing. And tomorrow's a day game, so there's a rumor it's Thursday or Friday he's going to come up.
Well, I'm calling him up in prime time.
That's when Friday. It's a Friday night. I think is an evening game.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
I'm letting him play prime time. I'm not putting him in against the Maple Leafs.
I want all these little Canucks to miss school tomorrow and come to the game. I want all of them. That's what I would do.
Absolutely, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Toronto's a hockey town. We know it's a hockey town. They're like the Cowboys in the hockey.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
They're the biggest thing since sliced bread there.
Yeah.
So
they're very loyal fans. They like their Blue Jays a lot.
Oh, they do. I mean,
and they also dig their the Raptors too, man. A lot. They're good fans.
They are. They're great fans.
Good fans.
I hear it's a great city to visit. I would love to go one day.
Yeah.
And, the Blue Jays are playing, the Maple Leafs are playing, and the Raptors are all playing at the same time. We could make a weekend of it, or make a week of it.
That's pretty cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be a very good weekend. So, this is the episode, everyone. Coming up from us, next week we'll have a full draft breakdown. The picks will have been made. So Chris and I will talk about the picks we liked and the picks we didn't like. We'll probably pick maybe six of each, and go from there. We'll have full round 2 predictions for the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs. Talk a little baseball. Let you know what we thought about Avengers, and hopefully we're not still crying from the Battle of Winterfell from Game of Thrones, because I have a feeling like we're going to lose like 60% of the people that we love. And
I don't know if we'll lose 60. I'm going to go with a 40%.
Okay.
Because, after this you still got 3 more episodes. You still got a lot of people left to kill.
That is a very valid statement. If you are on social interweb, you can follow me at Chew on Sports on Twitter.
You can follow me at ctemp03 on Twitter.
I'm also on Instagram at TechmoZach, and Facebook is my name, Zachary Van Meter. Facebook is his name, Christopher Temple. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back at you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out.
Peace.